Welcome back to another episode of Knott's Grand Adventure. I'm going to do this a little bit differently this time, where instead of a fly-through, we're going to actually have a walk around the park to show off everything that I've done. I guess I'll go and unpause it, just so we get like the full effect. So this area right here, it may not look like I have done anything, but if we go over here, there is this staff building. I have decided to turn on the staff things just because I was tired of people just leaving. It was pretty annoying, so now when they get tired, they just go and they have a break and they don't quit, and then I don't have to hire new vendors when I do another test open of the park, which I just did. I think there's like 29 people left in the park, so I was like, whatever, this is good enough. Alright, let's make a loop this direction. And over here I have added a antique car ride. It's called Gasoline Alley. It has obviously not been themed yet, but I already know what I want the station to look like, and some of the scenery on the ride should be pretty easy. The main thing that'll be kind of time consuming is building the overpass right there. It's going to be made out of bricks and some concrete pieces. And there's actually a section where it goes below grade. I had some original plans which had this thing going really high in the air, and I thought it looked stupid, so I changed it. And alright, let's hop back over here. This area has not had anything done to it. At some point I'll build the gas station, which will go right here, and then we'll have this boring section queue right there. I feel like I already went over this last time. I moved this over here. This is the seating area. It'll get done at some point. I want to try and build a Coasters dine-in place, like they have at like pretty much every single Cedar Fair park. I just think it'll be a good fit for this area, since this is like Velocity Lane, supposed to be like the, I don't know, I guess like the high-speed like car area. Ignore Delirium, it's just here because it's there. I can't really find a car theme to fit in with it, and please don't suggest one. I think it's just too much of a stretch. Okay, up here to Vortex, I was really stuck on what I want to do with the station, so I just downloaded one, and I think it looks really nice. It's got kind of a classic feel to it. Kind of reminds me of Racer at Kings Island. And yeah, I feel like it's fitting for this old aero coaster that would have been built like when the park opened, but since this is in kind of a classic area, it makes sense. I think it looks pretty good. So props to whoever made that. I don't remember who made it, and I don't want to Control Shift G to look it up, but I didn't make it. It's on the Steam Workshop. You can download it. Again, not taking credit for it. Alright, over here, I added hedges. That's really all I can say about this area right now. I added some hedges, and I'm gonna add these popcorn lights all along here, so just, it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna just look like an old like carnival fair style area, just something you'd see at like a park like this, going over the midway. It's like the classic Midway feel. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, hedges right here. At some point I'm gonna enclose part of this queue. I'm gonna just use like square pieces, and I'm not gonna cover the entire thing. There's gonna be gaps in it just because I don't want it to be monotonous. I want some breakage in it. Over here, this is all the same. I've done some changes to, I almost called it Banshee, to Eagle Hawk. I kind of modernized it a bit, and I got rid of the pre-drop, and I decided to just give it a continuous drop off of it, kind of like you would find on a Banshee. Let me get over to this section, and we'll go over here so you can get a better look at it. Alright, so Eagle Hawk has had some, it's got kind of a facelift. It's just got this long, steep drop. The entire first half is the same other than the drop. And then once you hit, the mid-course brake run, I added this turn. It originally banked like right here and it went underneath the loop. I thought that was kind of weird, so I added this turn instead, and then it goes into the corkscrew wing over thing, and then everything else is pretty much normal. And then over here, I got rid of the path there a long time ago, but I kind of redid the pathing over here, just so that it flows a bit better. That's one of the main things that I've been doing, like, outside of recording, is just doing a lot of things with paths, which I know does not record well, so that's why I did not record it. It's boring. But I've just added a lot more plazas, like, instead of just single pathways, you have actual options to go. Like, originally, you could only go this way, and now you have this other option where you can go that way instead. It still leads to the same area, but you get some better views of the ride, which is cool. It's always nice to have some interactivity with the ride, instead of just being, like, far away from and looking at it from a distance. I like getting up close to rides when you can, you know, within reason, like, don't want to be unsafe or anything, but if you can, like, get underneath and take pictures, and that's always pretty fun. Alright, I'm gonna have to go out of Tejicam at some point to show this off, and I'll just do it after the park walkthrough. But I redid Cosmic Timbers. It had, like, this one section where it just kind of, it went out pretty far. It actually went, can't really see it, but it's behind there. It went, like, past the train station. From above, it just looked too spread out and not GCI enough. So I decided to just get rid of that, and I still, like, kept the track length. I added another section of track. And it keeps the speed up a lot better. It finishes the ride sooner, which is good, because the wait times for this were stupid, because it only ran 2 trains. I have it running 3 trains now with a planned stack, which would suck, but since the planned stack is going to be in a show scene, I'm willing to look past it. I'm kind of an operations nut. Like, I hate it when parks don't run things at full capacity. Like, it's annoying, and, like, I don't know, that's how I operate all my coasters in here. So with this one, like, normally stacking would just piss me off. I'd be like, why the fuck are you stacking? Like, get off your ass, start hustling. But with this, it's like, oh, they kind of have to stack. Like, this thing has no mid-course brake run. It just has, like, the lift till the station, I think 2 blocks, and that's it. So yeah, it's a planned stack, but it's in the show scene, so I am going to keep it like that. So whatever. Alright, let's head over into Fiesta. Actually, no, I added the sign back for Afterburn. I'm glad that I saved it. There's another staff building over here, so that people don't have to walk all the way to the front, because that would suck. Okay, with Timberline Twister, I think that's what I called it. Yeah, this is Timberline Twister. I shortened the trains because they were way too long. I think they were like 16 cars. I think I got them down to 14 or 13. I think it's 13. They just held, like, so they would go up this lift hill, and then by the time it crests, well, I mean, like, so this, you'll see. I'll pause it to get what I'm talking about. So it would get to about here originally. Like, this front car would already be all the way at the bottom, and the back of it would still be on the lift hill. So then, like, imagine you're riding this thing, and you've got the front row, and you're like, yes, this is going to be the best seat on this coaster. And you get to every single drop, like every single big drop, and you're just kind of hanging there, like, off the lift. It would not be fun. It would be boring. So now you kind of hang there for a little bit, but then you whip over it pretty nicely at the end. So I'm going to take a capacity hit with it, but I think the ride is better now, so I think it is a worthy sacrifice. Alright, let's play, actually, you guys probably already saw it. Let's play a game. It's called, Did Sean Finish the Pyramid? No, I did not finish the pyramid. I will one day. But, speaking of, well not really speaking of, but Quetzalcoatl, I changed this implement. It used to just kind of hang sideways for a second. But, I have it so that it does like a full twist down. And the rating stayed the same. So there's really no gain or loss from it. It's just kind of a whatever change. I just didn't like how it looked, and I still kind of don't because I don't seem to have any supports over here, so at some point I'm going to have to change all that, and it just kind of snap a bit hard. This is a difficult roller coaster to work with because every now and then I contemplate doing a complete redesign of it, and I just end up getting stuck because I'm like, well then, like what could I possibly do with it? Like, this whole area is like pretty much filled in, and this ride just kind of goes above the path. Like, I don't have a lot of area to work with. I've tried doing it a few times, and I'm just kind of over trying to get it to work correctly. I'll just deal with the imperfections that the ride has. No ride's perfect. This ride's no exception. Coming over here, again, I've just done more path work over here. A lot of path work. I unfortunately left this gap open, but eventually I will put one of these coverings over it. And I've gotten this as close to it as I can. It's not perfect, but it's better than just having these splotches of green. Does not look good. Over here, I've done the same thing with the seating area, and these were originally just the like brownish black gray color, the default color, so I changed it. I redid it all so it matches that a little bit better. Over here I'm going to try and add some plants. It's kind of a small area, so we'll see how many I can actually cram into this. I still need to add some fencing right here, and I also am probably going to get rid of that tree and just fill in that and just add more fencing so that this... I don't really like this thing right here. I know that it's there because of the steps, but it ends up giving the ride like a really weird footprint, and it just looks awkward, so I'm gonna try and hide that as much as I can. Also, sorry for the lag. It's kind of, there's nothing I can really do about that. I still have not added anything back into these yet. I don't know what I will add. Right here, there's just 2 coffee shops. I probably don't need 2 coffee shops, but whatever. This is the coffee shop. What else would you put in here? I might actually end up adding a staff building over here also, just so that some of the people don't have to walk as far, even though the closest one is just over behind that wall. Actually, you can see one of them right there. Speaking of, this is the backstage area for this area. That was redundant. But anyways, yeah, it's right here. There's this path that leads along the brake run and then goes into this building that we will get to in a minute. I'm actually kind of proud of that building. It's nothing really that impressive, but I was inspired by something that is no longer existing. Alright, let's talk about Wave Breaker and its new color scheme and slightly different layout. So, with Wave Breaker, I noticed some problems with clearances, mostly with the first drop going over the mid-course brake run on Big Kahuna. The clearance was probably like a foot. And like if you put up your hands, you would definitely hit like the catwalk. And if I could just switch the catwalk side, it would have been fine, but you can't. So I had to completely redo the lift hill and the first drop. And the first drop is not very smooth right now, but I'm going to try and work on that and get it good. Also, whoops, didn't mean to zoom out. With this brake run, I realized that you were also way too close to that, so I put it at an angle. And it does look a bit weird, but it works, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Also, the color scheme. So I was playing, and I already kind of planned on changing the color scheme from the blue and yellow or whatever it was. Because I already have a blue and yellow coaster with a vortex. So I asked my girlfriend what color I should make it, and she suggested this. And you know what? It looks really, really nice, and it fits the name a lot better. So props to her for coming up with a good color scheme for this ride. Good job. I like it. Alright, turning around. This right here is... it doesn't have a name yet, but it's a pizza place, and I based it off of Pizza Mau Mau from California Adventure. Original California Adventure. That building's no longer there, and it's now Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta. And it's just got this outside. I kind of want to try and make a sign. I've never tried making a custom sign, but I kind of know the basics of how to do it, so I'll probably do that at some point soon, off screen obviously. And then you get inside and it's just this, and then over here there's a path which you can't see but leads out here. I'm not going to do any interior work, it's just a building. And yeah, that's that. It has a little seating area outside, and I'm going to add another one over here. People like to walk through the fence even though I added the curbs. They just don't care. They'll just walk right through it. Nothing I can do. And I could try and break it off and just create the illusion, but then half these tables become worthless, and I want them to be functional, so yeah, that is what it is. Big Kahuna didn't really change anything. I upped the lift speed, so operations are a bit better. Wavebreaker is actually popular now, which is kind of weird. I don't know if it's just because of having the second entrance right there. It's one of the first rides you see when you enter the park, but yeah, it's actually getting like pretty much full queues. And I'm actually gonna have to redo the queue at some point because right now it doesn't really make sense. I don't mind it going underneath itself right here, but this area right here does need to get fleshed out. I just need to add more queue to it, and then add some foliage over here, and that should end up looking pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and exit Touched Cam now so we can go off some of the things that I kind of have to show off from a distance. Such as, this is the new drop on Wavebreaker. It kind of has an odd shape right now. It has actually curls in on itself, which is kind of cool, but I might redo the lift hill one more time to try and angle it just slightly like this direction, so it has more room to like get where it needs to go. Over here to Cosmic Timbers. So the section that I was talking about, originally it would go over here, go above the train again, go all the way out there. So now instead of doing that, it does this little turn right there, air hill turn, a weird little trick track section, and then it finishes off the ride. I might try and find a way to shave off some seconds right here, just to get the ride working even better than it is now, because I do need to shave some time off, because it does stay on the brake run for a bit too long, but right now it kind of it's the best I can do. Also, I extended the show building out because this right here would be transfer track and it would not have enough room to slide over. So that's why this is like that. I might end up moving the train station. I'm not sure yet. I've debated moving it over here, but then I feel like this area kind of has this this gap right there, and I don't really want to have a big gap right there. This park has enough gaps, and I don't need one more headache to fill in. So yeah, that's what I did. I felt like I did a bit more for this video than I have in previous ones. I'm trying to get stuff done to the best of my ability and the time constraints that I do have, because I do work pretty much full time. So I do try to do this whenever I can. But anyways, they announced a new update today. Today is Wednesday. They announced a studio update, and I'm sure that I'm going to use some of the new building pieces. But one thing that got me kind of excited was that they added like the studio tram. like the one on at Universal Studios Hollywood, like the backlot tram tour, it's pretty much the exact same tram. And at first I was like, oh, I don't really think I'm going to use any of the new things in this update. But I was like, wait a minute, I could add a parking lot tram now. I don't think that people will actually use it because it's outside the park, and I could just change some things around so that you like enter the park after the spawn point, and then you can take the tram up here and whatnot. But I think I'm just gonna have it just cycle empty continuously, and I think this is gonna be really, really good because right now, like, this parking lot is a bit it's a bit strange to say the least. Like, it still doesn't really have like a cohesive plan, and I feel like once I can actually go in here and actually figure out like a tram route, I can kind of fill in the rest of the parking lot with spaces, because that's kind of why I haven't done any of that yet. I just feel like it's still a bit too early for me to start adding parking lot spaces, but I will get it done as soon as that update comes out, and I want to say it comes out next Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'll be able to work on it. Probably not that day because I've got a weird schedule next week where I'm just working weird hours, so I'm going to want to sleep instead of play this. But yeah, that should be pretty fun to figure out. So yeah, that'll do it for this one. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.